Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead.
Part is the board either didn't see it. I don't know the reason why the board didn't tell those guys to go fuck off, but they didn't. And he wasted a year and a half. 7 on one deal and 8 or 9 months on another deal. But now, that's history now. He doesn't, and now he goes off to the universities and tells people about, you too can do it. But he knows he's lying because he knows they can't do it. I told you, when your mom, I hope the guys, no parents in this room said you can be, except for you, Mitchell, you can be anything you want to be, because it's a lie. You can't. If you had another set of parents, yeah. Questions, comments about the Hungarian Forest Gump? Yes, ma'am.
Initially, someone said when he didn't have money, someone asked him to show me the money, which is, I come across a lot.
You're talking to the wrong people.
Well,
I mean, that's like earnest money. I mean, that's the 70s. That's the 60s. You don't have the right people on the board. I can count on, not even 2 hands, 1 hand, when they said, show me the money, kid. And as soon as but I mean, you can find big hitters to be part of your team. Most of you are thinking, a couple of you have already voiced it to me in our one-on-ones, why would anybody of that ilk deal with me? See, that's what you're really thinking, especially the pendejos, the shitbags, and the pretend upper-class Spaniard, the Filipino. That's what you're really saying. Do you understand? Are you bright enough to understand that's what you're really thinking? Why a little shitbag, skinny piece of shit balding? Why? That's what you're really saying. What you're really saying is you're less than. How many motherfucking times do I have to say this? Whereas I've never thought I was less than. I've always thought I'm the fucking greatest since I'm 6 or 7. I have no idea. Other than I had an alpha male stone, and I didn't know my dad was a stone assassin when I was 6, 7 years old. I've only found that out in later life. It's not what they say to you, Danny. It's how you fucking interpret it. Doesn't matter what they say. How's your fucking program worked out, meathead? Where are you? You heard him, they didn't have any money, but he had enough skills to get his board to go when he had no money, he said, and the board's afraid. He said that, and they are. But the model works. It's not but. The model works. It's of no question in anybody's military or civilian mind. The fucking model works. We have thousands, arguably tens and hundreds of thousands of morons that have done it. And the ones that, so I would think, why not me? Some of you are uglier than others. It doesn't matter. The fucking model works. And then you find somebody like Marcus, it didn't work good enough because he didn't listen. And he still got 340 or 50 million euro. I mean, shit. If that's your default, take me. If that's the default of the model after 10 years, you can't tell me the model doesn't work. With your 8.5, soon to be 12. The model, there's no question the model works. If the real question, whether you make it work for you. That's the real question. And we got 2 or 3 guys, even the guy that was a 19-year-old hooker, this is your baby. I mean, And he got fucked by the Russians. He went back again. And then after the civil, he went and did another deal with the Russians. Some people just need to be fucked. He put money in that deal too. But now he's done 5 deals. He hasn't done a legitimate straight up deal with a white guy yet. All Russians. And they've got secret ownership and papers and, and they really own, they still really haven't sold it. Which is a typical Russian deal. Thank you. But the model works, kids. Jesus Christ. And I get emails. We haven't verified the 21-year-old 15 million. We're working on that. But I believe the kid. How did he do it? It's better if he's from Lithuania or something, but this guy is a white guy from Ohio, I think. How does this happen if the model doesn't work? The real questions, all your questions are based on, but can I make it work for me? Some of you aren't emotionally intelligent enough to understand that. But that's the real basis of every question in this room. I like Michael, but he's already done more research of doing business in the UK than I've done in my whole life on every deal I've ever gone into. He's done more research every fucking deal I've ever done in 51 and a half years, cumulatively. And he's successful. If you haven't already figured out what industry you're going into, if you don't know by day after tomorrow something's not right, or how you're going to change your model if you're already in, because some of you have done deals, in virtually every state in the Union, and with the exceptions I've already mentioned in the countries in Europe, you can do it in every country. Then you can do it. It's been done on all 6 of the 7 continents. The only one is Antarctica. There's nothing for sale down there, although I've been there. But it's you. And affirmations and goals, and we do that tomorrow. But it's the markets, and the market's still ours. And until interest rates go up, 200 or 300 more basis points, and even at that, they're doable. It's just the cash flow and debt service ratio has to change because you need more cash flow. But when you're doing deals at 3 and 4 times debt service to cash flow, you're still at around 2. And as you heard Andreas, I believe, say that, he was doing deals at one point, that deal he did was 1.74, whatever. But he says that we've got deals that are, 2 or 3 times cash flow. But you've got to look at a lot of deals. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Not every deal that you're going to look at is going to be worth a shit. There's going to be a lot of kissing of frogs. A lot of turning over rocks. And it's a full-time job. It is. In the beginning, when you're trying to, you buy your first healthcare deal, it takes you a little while to figure it out. But, if it takes you more than a week or 2, then something's wrong with you. Because the low-end healthcare deals are just simple as, I don't know how to make apple pie, but as simple as making apple pie. I'm told it's simple to make apple pie, but it's as simple as apple pie. There's no nuances. There's no trickery, except for the licensing, which I've already beat to death. But other than that, it's just, and you're going to find people that want to give you the business. You've already heard that. They're not making this shit up. And Marcus hasn't done 100% seller finance. He doesn't like the seller finance because his experience with crowdfunding is everybody wants to talk to him because he's a luminary, he's a celebrity. You won't have that problem on seller finance. They may never talk to you again. Yeah, ma'am.
And Marcus said something about engagement partner. What is that?
Engagement partner is the partner that you have at KPMG or the law firm. They're the partner that engages you. You engage him to represent you at that firm. is a very important person. And when they have 5 or 6, when we talk about tomorrow, when you actually get into the interviewing process with the accountants, well, I'll start today. If a assistant manager is the guy that is talking to you about doing business at PwC, they think either you, your board, and the deal are dog shit. You should have 3 or 4 partners, a tax partner, a audit partner, a business development partner, 2 managers. The manager of the office or the manager of the district ought to come in and say, hi, I don't have time to meet with you, but thank you. We really look forward to doing business with you. They put you in a room this size with a full bar, fucking over there, food. In the old days, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, literally. But they want your business. If they put you in an office that's as big as this platform, I wouldn't even go to the meetings, but you need to practice. It's a perfunctory offer. Forget about it. Forget about it. Andrews' first meeting at E&Y, I wasn't at that meeting, but I mean, it was a big conference room. They had 3 or 4 partners, and I'm positive it was because of the German guys on the board, not so much me, because he has some big-time guys there on the board that have been in big, either government positions or whatever. And the guy that should really be chairman of his deal isn't me. It's the guy, ex-Slaughter and May partner, who's a world-renowned lawyer. I mean, and a gentleman, not like me, but yes, sir, in the back.
Yes, the board and the bank turned on him. I mean, how did?
Oh, you mean
yes?
Oh, because the chairman, who is a world-renowned healthcare guy, went to the bank and said that we've lost confidence. That's all they've got to say. And you're dead. And the reason why he lost confidence is because he wanted more than the 10% he got. When they see it's going to be hundreds of millions, all of a sudden they want more stock. And I told him how to handle it. He spent some time on the phone with him. And we moved this chairman to CEO, keep him out of mischief, because if we didn't do some internal stuff there was a chance that they'd lose 1 or 2 of the hospitals. And he made some changes. We got rid of the board members. We bought out the 2 guys that had put up the €1 million. I was surprised that they got out. They didn't hardly make any money on their €1 million, each one of them. But they thought the thing, all of a sudden, your equity investors, if they think the thing's going to go down, they get realistic on their sales price. And there's no way it could go down. Well, I won't say that. There was hardly any way it could go down. And so we got through that battle. And then I said, the cure, this isn't a cure. A lot of marriages they think are saved, have another baby. Well, that's been proven to be bullshit. But anyway, I have another baby. Well, I said, we need more acquisitions and everybody will get quieted down. And so he made 3 or 4. Now he's the largest hospital owner-operator. And we pivoted within hospitals we were specializing in fertilization. And because of Corona, we built up the video, when you just see the doctors on video, television, whatever it's called. Yeah. And it was the right moves. And but I said, take some money out, take some chips off the table. And he took he sold 22%. And he bought his big house, and now he's cars and drivers, and and his wife, 2 more kids. Keeping his wife out of mischief, 2 toddlers is not easy to deal with. I've never dealt with toddlers, so I don't know. I've had toddlers running around, but and of course now it's more or less settled down, and now he's the CEO. When you hear him again, he's the CEO of the holding company, and he doesn't deal with day-to-day administration at all. He doesn't deal with the doctors, which is a big plus to him. And he's got 2 or 3 hospital administrators. Of course, he's got 7 or 8, 9, 10 hospitals, so I'm surprised he doesn't have more than 2 or 3 hospital administrators. And he's looking at deals outside his basis there. But those hospitals he said that he couldn't buy, we went back and bought. Because now when you're the third largest, then the second largest, all of a sudden you got, well, fuck, you can pay for this stuff. And nobody's ever asked him about where the money is now. And they don't, at some level. And me early on, because of my braggadocious manner, I can't really ever remember anybody asking me. And 9 times out of 10, I didn't have the money. But it made him nervous. As he said, you could tell, when you don't have any money. And when you're the leader of the group, the pack is nervous, what do you think the board members are going to be? Nervous, triple nervous. Like whores in church. And, of course, now he knows a couple, 3 phone calls, he can do anything. And I started to cry over there. When you see him tomorrow, it's not the same human being. That's what, success, deals, and money. Money aside, he now knows he has done it. And, it's a terrific feeling, It's like all of a sudden, I've got a kid, I don't have a kid that's got cerebral palsy. All of a sudden, I cured he doesn't have cerebral palsy anymore. It's like magic. And and again, Andres, just follow the steps. Now, you're going to hear another 100 times before you leave, follow the steps. And yet, when you fill out that questionnaire, if you fill it out, you're not doing me any favors whether you fill it out. I don't really give a fuck. But if you fill it out and you see, and you answer candidly, honestly, the questions, you're going to, fuck, I can see why some people must, metaphorically speaking, commit suicide. Because it's pretty obvious, people take the success test 200 times a month. And the answers don't change. We used to track how many times you took it. We don't do that anymore. It's too debilitating. Not for me, but for the kids. So I don't know if any of you have taken it 200 times a month. It stops at 200. I wanted to change the algorithm. Can we? And Google won't cooperate. I'm sure they can do it. But he's done terrific. He's done more than terrific. Money's not everything, kids, but currently it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. And I think he said, I don't know if it was on this webinar or another webinar, he said it took him a day or so to figure out what industry. But as Andrea said, there's 15,000 purchase candidates within his circle around Leipzig. That's just one fucking section of Germany. There's 15,000. You'll have no trouble. And once you learn quicker than later how to differentiate bullshit that they give you, that they think they're motivated, and they're not motivated, and you learn how to separate a suspect from a prospect, then, it gets fun. And that's why Josh stacks them up 10, 12. Now, that's over cocky. When you look 15 years old, and you got them all stacked up there. Once in a while, the guy get up and leave. I'm not gonna. And when they ask you, is this a beauty contest? I'm afraid it is, sir. We only buy the pretty ones. And some of you won't say that. Oh, of course not. I wouldn't put you through that. You'll lie. Because down deep inside, you don't want to hurt their feelings. I always used to think, better their feelings hurt than mine. And Sally says, that's disingenuous, Dan, because you can't hurt your feelings. But I used to say that. Better your feelings hurt than mine. But Peter, and you're going to see a number more of the kids over the next few days. but we could literally, from now till July, and these are from 2021 and 2020, except for that one. That's an old one because you need to see from the Forrest Gump to what he's turned into now. But we haven't dated back a long time. And so and again, he wants to help me, give back to me, and I appreciate all that. But it's for you. I don't need to see this. But it's for those of you that raise kids. I mean, you've seen Mitchell when he couldn't walk, he crawled, he walked, he ran, blah, blah. I mean, that's a very fulfilling thing. And our kids are all, not long in the tooth, but anyway, oldest son's 40, daughter's 35. So we've gone through that period of seeing them grow, and now we've seen grandkids. I don't get a cheap thrill over grandkids like some people do, but it's the same thing when I see you guys and gals, benefit and by following the steps and making money, because money will change your lives. I've seen peripherally how the Carlings' lives have changed in the last 4 or 5 years. And, and so I see that, and I see that they're confident enough to bring their son. And again, not putting too much pressure on you, young man. That's a big advantage coming through and listening to this, notwithstanding my foul mouth at his age, compared to trying to teach people long in the tooth like Michael here, or some of the other older guys. You can just imagine how, the difference. His perspective is going to be different. His perspective, and when our 12-year-old daughter came to the seminar 20-some years ago, and sat through the seminar, the same words, same bad words, same all shit that I say, and she just, when people asked, I said, well, I'm not sure she understood the word intellectual at the time, but she says it's easy peasy, if you follow the steps. Well, she hit it right on the head. If you follow the steps, it is easy peasy. And at that stage of her life, at 12, she had some baggage. She would say, having you as a father or dad is some baggage. It's a different kind of baggage, but it's definitely some baggage. That programming early on has set the kids well. It set them up well. Anything else about, who's my 5:30? 6? 6:30? Okay, any other questions? Dinner is in there tonight, I believe. Yep. Okay, do we have any announcements, Kat? Did any 6-year-olds make $100 million today or anything? No? Okay, kids, we'll see you tonight. Thank you.